Podcasts are not necessarily representative of the coalition or any other entity. This content is intended for mature audiences only.
Throwdown. What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 157. I'm your host, Tony Ponto. I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How you doing? I'm not doing graphics this time anymore.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Rest in peace. Yo, man, he hit me with them graphics.
Yeah, you know. Brian Manjoma.
I honestly don't know what the fuss is about.
And Adam Vale.
COD, COD, COD.
Yeah. All right, so we're trying something new, and as you can see, we're already hitting our first hitch here. It's not showing. It's showing like my monitor, but it's not showing the Google Hangouts. You know.
So we see your desktop.
Yeah, so we already hit a snag here. You know, which is not fun.
All right, so
yeah.
right-click on screen.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. We're making the sausage, people. All right, what am I clicking on now?
Oh, damn, I can barely see.
It's bad small. You know? It was going on, Kal-El. Oh, screen, right? Yeah.
Screen, yeah. So we need it.
Here we go. Check this out. What? Wait, why isn't it showing up? What the fuck? Oh, I gotta love it. I know how to fix this, though. This is being bullshit. I'm gonna drag your ass over here. Fuck it. You know? God damn it. If you guys are watching it, can you see us now?
That's, well, I have it running on
I can see it.
You can see it, right? Okay, good. It worked when Carlos and I did it. Oh, well, you know?
It's probably because you switched it out before, you switched out to show me really quickly, and I think that's probably what did it.
Oh, no. You know?
I ruined it!
Yeah, so because that's the case, now I got to pull up my show notes on my thing. But anyway, tonight we actually have a very, very special guest, man. Our boy, the returning one, Mr. Riku-san one.
What is good, y'all? Riku-san one, the only one back in this bitch. I'm here right now to, replace your boy who's not here. He's watching that, Thor? Watching Thor?
I want to see.
Yeah, he's watching Thor.
He's watching Thor's, no bread action.
No bread action.
Does that mean you're gonna like suck up to Nintendo now?
Yeah, that is it. Yeah. Let's start off sucking off Nintendo. I got a 3DS, and it is awesome.
Oh, word, Riku! Oh shit!
I got the 3DS, the new 3DS XL. It's fire.
Yo, Riku, I got a question for you, man. Yeah, I got a question. Actually, I got to ask you about that, but I got a question, man. Are you ever in your life gonna play Cuphead, bro?
If I ever decide to play Cuphead, it's probably gonna be on my laptop.
Yeah, because I know you got Steam. That's why I'm asking.
I do,
and I know you like challenging games, bro.
I do. My game of the year is still Neo.
Oh shit! There you go, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, man. I've been hearing so much crazy good stuff about it.
Yeah, so tell us about this 3DS thing. I'm assuming it's for JRPGs.
Oh yeah, definitely. Since my eyes have opened up to the world of JRPGs, had to grab me a 3DS and pick up a couple of games on it. So
You got to pick up that Metroid. Nice.
now, see, I said JRPGs now.
That's not Metroid ain't no JRPG, bro.
You still play that? I thought you moved on.
You say I don't play what?
I thought you moved on. You still play those?
No, Riku is like a recent convert to
I know, but
JRPGs.
I did a little prayer a few months ago to see if I could like force him to try, get out of JRPG.
Why? JRPGs are awesome.
Oh man.
No, I don't know what's wrong with you, Adam.
It's the same guy who likes Call of Duty, man. So take that how you will.
You're hyped for Call of Duty, man. I can't trust you.
Call of Duty, man.
Love it.
We'll talk about some more about that. Let's get started with the show, though.
Yeah, man. I like how Riku's like, man, I'm running this shit. You start the fucking show, man. All right, so a couple things here. Start to push that shit, man. Okay, so yeah, smash that motherfucking notification bell, please, man, because YouTube is on some bullshit, so smash that. But that's not foolproof. So what you need to do is follow us on Twitter and then hit notifications for that, and that'll be guaranteed. Because
that'll be guaranteed because every single time that we go live on YouTube, it shows up on there, so we're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just gonna apologize ahead of time because I can't see the chat. So hope everybody's having a good night. You know,
so far it just says they're just not saying much in there.
Yeah, I saw a couple of heads though. What's going on, people? Yeah. All right, so tonight we got something special. We got 2 main topics, man. Bum, bum.
Whoa.
Bum. This shit is crazy. All right, so basically Paris Games Week started this week, and they started the whole thing off, with the Sony conference, right? It was good. I actually felt that conference was better than the E3 one. Had a lot of good trailers, right? I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, they showed some good stuff. Then, like maybe 3 hours later, maybe even less than that, Polygon comes out there writing this bullshit article about how, the trailers were too violent. I'm like, what? Really? What are you talking about,
But the article wasn't really
about... It wasn't about violence, though. This is where it gets interesting. As Manny and I noticed in the URL, right? Original thing was violence women, right? Okay. And if you read the article, it's basically like the trailer is bad because it shows a lot of violence towards women, right? And I got to give my man a huge shout out. And I saw him today at a UFC event. Shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. He made an excellent video on this. He's like, why didn't the author point out the fact that 2 men got killed in the fucking video? They didn't get maimed or hurt. They got killed. Nobody said nothing, right? If you read that article, it was just specifically women got hurt. And it's like, we can't show that in games. That nonsense. I'm like, listen, man, if you get, this Last of Us universe, everybody gets fucked up. Everybody gets fucked up. So you can't like selectively pick one or the other, But Rico, let me go to you first, man, since you're the guest here. What do you think about all this nonsense? I'm pretty sure you saw. So, I mean, I linked it, in our little chat there and shit. So what do you think about that bullshit?
Okay, so firstly, I know it's not just some random female in an article saying this. It's probably some social justice White Knight Chronicles dude.
White Knight Chronicles
dude inside there typing it up, trying to get his his White Knight trophies or whatever. But it's just like, first of all, you see, you always hear about the someone, we want gender equality. If you want gender equality so bad, then why can't the females get fucked and died also, just like the guys did in that fucking trailer? Secondly, the whole, are we just keeping it to Last of Us right now? Or are we?
Oh no, we could talk about Detroit too. You could throw that in there, because I got some shit too.
Yeah, I didn't even see the Detroit until you linked it inside. I saw the Last of Us one, so I did watch the Detroit one. I'm like, oh, okay, I understand the little girl getting messed up, but still, at the end of the day, these are mature rated games. But when I saw the people bitching about, first of all, these fictional characters. Second of all, that ain't even a real female. That's an android. So y'all niggas getting butthurt. Wait, y'all niggas getting butthurt over some android females now? Oh my god.
This is the world we live in, man. This is the world we live in now. Everybody up in arms about nonsense, basically.
I'm gonna ask this question. It's like, how come this wasn't a problem a few years ago? Even last year or the year before that. All of a sudden now this is some sort of problem. When fucking Gears of War, the friggin' guys are chopping each other's heads off and blowing each other's brains out, and fucking, we're talking about Doom, where he's kicking the shit out of demons and ripping them in half. There's no problem with that.
They see that as monsters. That's, I remember they regardless
went
after Cliffy over it though. They did go after Cliffy
regardless of what is being, does blood come out of them? Yes, blood comes out of them. That doesn't matter.
It's seen as fiction, and it went after Cliffy when he introduced the chainsaw cutting people in half. It did come up.
Yeah,
and they were like, well, it's monsters.
The thing is, and we know what you're gonna get with the Last of Us sort of game. And you know what you're going to get every single time a trailer shows up and they show the little Peggy, whatever.
But the thing is, the issue that people that I didn't have an issue with the whole thing with the female and all that. I don't care. I think the issue is that they didn't say it was a Naughty Dog until after the fact. So when it just came on,
does that give it an excuse somehow?
That doesn't give
it gives an excuse.
No, it doesn't give it an excuse.
It, so then that way they
regardless what it is.
Maybe you shouldn't be watching this.
No, the thing is that there is all those press conferences, they always profess, show M for mature or the Peggy rating before any trailer that they show. So you already know what you're going to see before
that one,
you're going to see it.
That was the other thing. They said they didn't do it for that one. For the Last of Us one.
I don't know if they did or not, but like I said, we almost got into a debate about this before the show. Now we could do it. My thing is like, again, I watched it. That whole thing about violence didn't even strike me until I saw the articles and stuff. I'm like, Whatever, you know, it's like people are saying, oh, you could do that shit in Gears of War because you know they're monsters, but it's all digital. None of that shit is real. So,
isn't there a female character in the Gears of War multiplayer that you can cut in half?
But the same thing goes in movies. Movies aren't real, and people still get bitchy about shit like that.
Yeah, that's what it's stupid though. It's just as dumb when it happens to movies, you know.
The thing is that when it comes, I mean, to be honest, in this trailer is no different than what we saw in the last of Us game.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But the only difference, you keep saying it's the Last of Us game. The thing is that people did not know at that time.
That's irrelevant, though.
Again,
it was irrelevant for people that saw it.
No, it is irrelevant because it is.
All right, so let's say you're with you.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
You're sitting down with some people. You're sitting down with your kids, whatever, because you want to see the Spider-Man trailer. You want to see some of that other stuff. Like, okay, cool. And then that comes on, and it didn't flash that screen. And then all of a sudden you see some stuff going on. It's like, what's this? And then they grab the hammer or whatever, and they start doing it. You're like, oh shit, get out of the room. What the hell? What the hell was that? That's the reaction. That was a great trailer. I like the trailer. I have nothing wrong with the trailer. I just think it was the wrong place for that trailer. They could have just put it on the website. They could have had it. I don't think it should have been banned or none of that bullshit. I don't think it's too violent. I think for that press conference, it was inappropriate. That was my
What about the Call of... What, didn't they show a Call of Duty one?
Yeah, they did.
Call of Duty war, though. That's straight up war. Right there, World War II. If you see World War II, you know that's war.
Yeah, but you want your kids watching that?
A girl being dragged by two guys, and then another woman saying to go and cut her wings, and then they start bashing her arms. That was completely different.
But don't you see that, Adam? Like that's the goalpost moving right now.
Yeah, you're moving it. Yeah,
you're moving the goalpost. No,
yeah, you are. You're doing it right on screen, bro.
If I see something that says World War II, then I can tell my kid, close your eyes, it's World War II, this war shit.
When you see someone getting dragged on the ground, then you know what you're getting.
Happened, but it happened so fast. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, Adam, on the trailer, I'm looking at the trailer right now. The one that PlayStation has up on their website that got 2.7 million views, uploaded on October 3rd. I'm assuming this is the exact same trailer that they showed live. The first thing, before 1 second even hits, the first thing I see is content inappropriate for children. Oh, did they not show that?
There you go then. Yeah, there you go.
I didn't see it.
I think people just conveniently forgot that part.
I don't know, because there's always two different trailers that get posted.
Like I said, you're gonna have to go back. You're gonna have to do this for us because you're the only person debating.
All right, so then there you go.
You're gonna have to go back and find it. If it says may content inappropriate for children.
So now you still think that something that strong was still appropriate for a press conference?
Yeah, why not? It's a fucking video game.
If it says inappropriate for children, who else is adult?
Yeah, and by the way, this isn't getting streamed on the Disney Channel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just getting streamed on an open channel. It's getting streamed on sites that are not.
My point is,
like Pornhub is a free channel. Come on, son.
Come on now. You know you have to put in your age restrictions.
I see it right here with this. I highly doubt that it's not on the live thing, but. Go ahead and find the live stream, you know, where it has the whole thing connected together.
I guess you guys aren't going to see my point because
I see your point. I just don't agree with it. I understand where you're coming from. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah, and I see.
Don't agree, but you can't say that what I'm feeling is wrong.
No.
I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm just saying I don't agree with it.
Give us a timestamp. Go find a video with like the whole live stream linked together. Give us the timestamp showing the beginning of that Last of Us Part 2 trailer, and it's showing that it did not say anything at the beginning saying that this is inappropriate for children. If you have that, then I am on your side. If it doesn't, like, if it shows it exactly like this trailer, then that's their little buffer. That's them saying that this is your warning right here, even though it's up for like 3 seconds or 2 seconds and a half. We did it. This is it right here, and this is our trailer.
And for me, like I know I understand your opinion. I disagree with it, like Tony, but I would respect it more if it was consistent with all violent games.
Yes, like because you're okay with Call of Duty violence.
Nobody should be watching any of these. I'm just saying I felt it was too much on a personal level for it. That's my whole thing. War is war, but when you start seeing something like this sort of brings that whole thing of like a true crime event. You know, when you start seeing true crime, that could have been it. You know,
I don't see a difference, man. Violence is violence.
Then why see a difference with Spider-Man beating the shit out of somebody? That person could have died.
Yeah, you should.
It was the Last of Us trailer. That was the last thing showed on the live stream, right?
I know that was the last thing.
I didn't see anything. Yeah, it was the last trailer. Yeah.
Here in case, here's one thing. This show does not have any sort of ratings on it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm looking at this live stream that they have up on here, 2 hours and 9 seconds. Before the live stream even starts, it says rated
It has
X
that.
for
all
of the content that's in there.
So all the complaints are irrelevant.
They're saying that this whole live stream, we're warning you beforehand, before this live stream even starts, it has the ESRB rating of 17.
So the whole thing was for mature audiences.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go to the Last of Us one and see if they say it again.
Video games in general are not for kids these days, so you have to assume that, you know.
Here is also another thing. Did you know, Adam? You don't know this because you've never been to one of these shows, but the E3 the E3 convention does not allow children onto the show.
Yeah, they don't.
Of course not. But that's what I'm saying. But then you stream it on the site and you don't put that restriction.
But they stream E3 too.
It's not saying that you have to be 18 and over, putting your age or any of that stuff. You can just click on a PlayStation site that's not age restricted, and then you can watch it.
Okay, and I still don't see the problem with that.
The thing is, I understand where Adam is coming from with this sort of situation, but at the same vein, again, why is this a problem now when we've seen very similar situations in past shows where it's like people getting their heads ripped off and all kinds of other things? Violence is still violence.
Manny, you know the answer already, man. You know the answer.
I don't remember if they showed it, but it was kind of graphic. But they didn't put it in a big press conference when Call of Duty did the airport scene.
I mean,
and that was graphic to the point that even in the game you can skip that. You didn't have to play it.
The thing is that but yeah, again, like why wasn't it okay when
you know why, Manny? Because people are soft nowadays, man. You have to complain about everything. That's why.
The thing is,
by the way,
to be honest, this situation is just, again, I even mentioned this on my Twitter. I'm like, why does something like this have to, why can't we be excited about games anymore? You see a lot of these sites out there writing these puff pieces about how we should be ashamed about the games that we play.
Yeah, well, this is coming from gamers who are pushing the agenda. All right,
Chris, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right, this is not.
You're a devil worshiper, right? That was the whole thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's right. Hail Satan. So let me continue. This is they're not like I understand where Adam's coming from, but this is not about children. This is about people pushing a narrative. And
I'm not. But that was the thing. They're two different.
No, wait,
things.
let me finish.
Let him finish. Yeah, no, Chris. Yeah, fight an agenda. You're right about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is them carrying a flag and white knighting this issue about violence against women. But now the narrative, they don't. Adam, realize these guys who are writing this don't care about you or your child or anyone.
What they were writing, I don't give two shits what they had to say. I was my own personal view. I don't care what they said. The whole thing about a woman getting. I don't give a shit.
Right, but this is about that narrative and that agenda, and pushing that agenda on the game industry. These are guys who are not gamers, who don't care about the content or whatever. They just want to push a narrative, so they get behind any low-hanging fruit that they can. And this is just simple low-hanging fruit to attack a conference at a game show. It's like I want to see one of you guys go to Darfur or something, and go lobby and get money for women who have actually been raped by, military juntas or whatever. Why don't you go or go counsel women who are actually been attacked in this country? Why don't you guys get on a platform for a real issue and stop attacking fiction?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're getting all bent out of shape or fiction. And I need to throw this in there. I am so glad, because typically in these cases, you know what happens, right? The company that puts these things out there, they apologize profusely. Sony, nope. They stood up for the developers. Like, listen, these are M-rated games. These are mature games. These are not for kids. We're sticking by the developers. I wanted to fucking clap. I'm like, thank you, because usually people cow down to these people and thus giving them power, you know? So I'm glad Sony, they stood by their guns and shit, because
Tony,
it's bullshit. What's up?
You know why they stood up for them?
Because they're making the money.
Because they're a Japanese company, man.
Oh yeah,
they don't give a
fuck
shit about that, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. You're right about that. You think Shuhei was giving a fuck? You know.
Well, I also think it goes back to the way that Sony, what the Sony game department came from, which was the which was the music division of Sony, which was, let the artists do what they do. And I think in a lot of ways they're letting them do what things they want to do with their content. Obviously having little request things,
Yeah. But and also, Neil Druckmann and David Cage came out to defend their shit. So I'm glad they did that, because there's nothing there's nothing here to really get angry about,
But the thing is that, like, both of those things were tossed under the bus, and the David Cage one is not even as nearly as violent as the Last of Us.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
But I think the fact that there was some sort of violence against the woman was what triggered.
That one was more about child abuse, they were saying, but it's like you can't. Here's the thing, man. You're not talking about.
Yeah, there's not a nice way to
if you legitimately want video games to be treated as art, you can't start putting these limitations on it. Oh, because it's interactive, you can't do that. No, you can't have it both ways. If you want video games to be art, you need to accept that art is going to do some shit that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. That's just the way it is,
Regular art has more nudity than any video game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
I think where they see it is the platform. I don't think if they didn't see it there, they probably wouldn't bitch. If, let's say, that trailer just got released on their website and on
they would have bitched. Chris, they would have bitched.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just feel like it was the big stage because you saw there was a lot of eyes, a lot of media outlets that don't cover video games, that just cover Sony and just what's happening in that world, and saw this. I'm like, hey, what the fuck?
Wait, so we go to Paris Games Week to not cover games?
Yeah. And by the way, this isn't E3. This isn't PSX. This isn't Tokyo Game Show. This is a freaking deep cut within the press conferences of Sony.
Yep.
So like the people there know what the hell they're getting into. They know what Call of Duty is. They know what Battlefield is. They know like all these violent games are.
So what
like
sites were bitching about it then?
Polygon, all the main SJW sites, bro. All of them. Polygon was not surprised. But again, and then the Detroit one, yeah. You can't make, child abuse nice, and what's the whole purpose of that trailer? What I obviously got from it, hey, you could do a lot of different things. There's a lot of different variables in this game, just like every other Quantic Dream game. That's what I got of it. The whole child abuse thing didn't even factor in until these people started bringing it up. I'm like, I didn't even see that. I just saw some fucked up shit happening, like what happens in David Cage games, But Manny, like you said, it's like 2 or 3 years ago, this shit wasn't as bad as it is now, No. It's crazy, but these people have been emboldened. That's what's going on.
Heavy Rain was about a child killer. Didn't hear anything about that one. didn't get into. Nobody got into it. When the guy was.
It didn't have any graphic scenes of a kid getting killed. I mean, the kid died in the drainage.
There was also,
but they didn't really show anything graphic in that game.
But there was also the
woman torture. That one was crazy. That scene, remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
What's her face in the Age in the DLC? But yeah, I feel like now since certain people are paying are actually are
making a living off this shit.
They're making a living off of this stuff. They're looking for the clickbait, and this article, just like a lot of articles, are just playing on people's, clicking on something, rather than actually trying to report the news or try to actually show the game for what it is. To be honest, it's like this piece wasn't even written as an opinion piece.
No, that's the thing. You're right about that. It wasn't labeled as that. Yeah.
Yes, this is an opinion piece officially. It's not yes, there is the fact that there is violence in it. And there is violence against women. There's also violence against males. There's also, a lot of that stuff. But officially, using violence to sell video games, I don't know about that. I feel like that's more of an.
That's how you sell most video games.
We've already kind of gone through this rigmarole with the government, with the ESRB. This is all known. You're not going to go out there and see these sorts of things and say, oh yeah, that's a T for teen game. Come on,
So silly, man.
They profess this stuff with, and this content is meant for mature audiences only in the beginning of the show. So I feel like you've already set the ground. So what, you're gonna get appalled when they do exactly what they say they're gonna do on the show? I don't know about that.
It's stupid, All right, man. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay,
I want. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, like going back, again, there's just so many things wrong. Like, you just take things from the top. Okay, the main issue that the writer had was that it was violence against women, and it's like, hold on, like, if you want for equality, then you need to have the same standards for everyone. And at the start, there were 2 guys who were hanged, and I think they got stabbed as well. And I was like, whatever. And then when she got started getting hung, I was like, okay, she's probably going to get killed or something. And then I was just like, okay, it's violence, but it's a violent setting. It's a violent world. Like, what's going on in that trailer fits the whole point of the whole universe, which is it's a violent place to live in. Like, everyone gets their shit. Like, so hence I had no issue with that at all. And when I went back and I read the person's comments, it's like she not retracted, but she stated that the whole issue that she had is that there was no context to it. And I'm like, in this case, it doesn't really matter what the context is. Like, you got upset that there was violence, and the fact that you even said that you didn't know the context, then that implies that the context would have made it okay. So hence, why are you complaining? Because you don't know the context. So you're getting upset over something that you say that you don't get upset over, technically speaking, by saying that you need context. So she proposed a self-defeating argument there. And then the whole thing about art, like, okay, art reflects life. There's no ifs and buts about that. That's just a fact of how the world works. Like, you go back as far along as you want, you'll see the same thing. Art reflects life. Life is violent. There's no doubt about that. We are human beings. We are violent creatures. Just look at any time in history. There's just violence, and I think it's fair for them to use violence in whatever way they want, especially if it fits their narrative. And their narrative is a post-apocalyptic world where shit is fucked up. So hence, I think it's fair. And to get on what Adam's saying, I do agree that it would have been nice if they had put in a warning prior to the trailer itself. Because if they put it up just for the whole thing, then if people jump in midway, then that may be an issue. But still, if they're I'm trying to meet everyone here halfway, in that if they had put it midway through at the start of the trailer, then that is pretty much them just covering their ass, and there's no real ifs or buts about that.
I wonder if it's also a regional thing. I wonder if in France it's not mandatory that you put the game rating, the rating in front of every single video, because I feel like when you watch conferences over here in the States,
you always get them.
You always get them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It could be just me, pulling straws or whatever. But I feel like every single show here, they at least profess, come in and for mature, and then it's like, I'm the blah blah blah. The trailer starts.
Yeah. All right. I think we pretty much covered that. Pretty fucking awesome debate.
Wait, I have one last thing to say.
Oh, and one more thing. You're already know how Brian does, man.
Fuck Polygon. They're a bunch of amateurs. Seriously, they're a bunch of amateurs. They don't know how games work. Simple as.
I feel like if it was written in more of a question format, where if this article said something like, is the game industry using violence to sell video games, right? And putting up the evidence of what they say is going on, and then giving us different part,
and letting us decide,
whether this is something.
Yeah, that would have been totally valid. I feel like it, but this piece is there is a very clear point to what this piece is going for, rather than giving you the information and letting you decide. They are telling you what you should feel. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
And you have to take into consideration when you said the whole question of that article was is video games using violence to promote
Well, no, that's not the question of the article. It never raises that question.
Yeah, the article's basically saying violence against women in video games is bad. That's the whole point of it.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so you're not upset with violence against men in games, so only women. Okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this.
And the way the title looks like it was changed to be a more universal title, but if you read the actual article,
and look at the original URL, you know.
If you look at if you look at the title, the title and the original title, the change title and the URL, you see it doesn't match. So officially, this article was probably said something along the lines of, is the game industry using violence against women to sell video games? And I feel like that was the original name, but they changed it. And then but the thing is that, you have this kind of nebulous statement or whatever in the beginning, but then it's like, okay, no, that's one specific thing that this person's going for.
I wonder what happens if the game came out and it was as brutal as God of War, but every single character in it was a female.
Oh shit! I
wonder how.
Here's the thing in general. Violence against women is a very sensitive subject. Even back when we were, playing video games in the old days, you have poison from the Final Fight games.
What I'm saying
turned into a man.
But here's the thing. What I said about that was, you see that every single example that you could possibly pull from that these people are getting triggered when you say violence against women is a man doing the violence against the woman. Even all the way to that freaking X-Men Apocalypse poster where it shows Apocalypse holding Mystique. It seems like they always get triggered when it is the male doing the violence against the female. That's why I said I wonder if a game came out that was, let's say, a multiplayer game with a God of War Ascension that has its own story and all of the cast was females, killing each other.
Yeah, actually, Rico, I could answer that. I could answer that for you, kind of, because the person that was telling the men to attack the woman was a woman, and then in the article they said just because it's a woman giving out the orders does not excuse it. So,
okay, Rico, what you have to understand is that these guys don't use any type of logic. Like, they see something, and it doesn't matter what the case is around it, aka the context. That's the issue. It's like, it can be violence against a woman, and it doesn't matter what is doing the violence. It could be a man, a woman, a transgender person, black person, herself even. The issue is there's violence against a woman, and that's the problem.
Oh my god!
So in your case, if they did do like a multiplayer only game, okay, let's just assume it's multiplayer Gears of War, and it's women only. The first start is it's just a male power fantasy where women destroy each other. Boom.
They're always gonna find a way to twist it.
They always find some way to.
Yeah, you can't win. Yeah.
Happens. Regardless, like if it's male on male, there's no females. If it's male on female,
I mean, they also there was also the
man. He let him finish. Go ahead.
And it's like it's like a power fantasy for men, and it's female on female. Then the hatred on the females. It's like really there's no case where it's just like a game.
There was also the situation with the Rise of the Tomb Raider with the guy attacking Lara Croft.
Yeah, I remember that. They got mad. Yeah. It's like, he's raping her. It's like if you play the game, there's no sexual contact at all. He touches her hips.
I was just about to say that, like in a game where she massacres how many guys? Yeah. Like there are probably one guy touching her shoulder. Like really, guys? Like come on.
Yeah, it's silly.
75 dudes already and. You're mad about that? Fuck off.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. All right, man. But let's just move on to the actual Paris Games Week, man. What did you guys think of some of the things that showed? Riku, man, what were some of the highlights for you, man?
Can you guess what you think the biggest highlight for Riku-san 1 could have been at this Paris Game Show, Tony?
And I'm gonna pronounce it like you would, man. Monster Hunter.
Actually, no.
It
is dun dun dun. Who are you?
That Ghost of Tsushima, bro. Come on.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that, man. Because I got into a little bit of trouble on Twitter, man.
What happened? What happened on Twitter? Let us know.
Okay, so what happened was, I saw the trailer like everybody, right? Ghost of how is it again? Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. It's a location between Japan and Korea.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, great. Another samurai game. Whoop-de-doo. You know, I didn't really care for it. And people got mad at me. Yo, son, but it's Sucker Punch. Like, I realize it's Sucker Punch. The game's probably going to be fire, but it's another fucking samurai game. Like, I've seen a bunch of these. I need to see more than a CG trailer. You
Understandable. But dude, how many samurai games are we have come out recently?
I'm not recently. I'm talking about, see, and I'm glad you said, because that's the thing everybody went, recently, Tony. Recently, I'm talking about in totality of gaming.
In the totality of gaming, there's not really that many samurai games out there. There's not games about samurais, but there hasn't been a lot of games about samurais. There's only been games with samurais in them.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I find that at that moment, because the way I felt about that, I'm like, oh shit, I finally understand why Ubisoft doesn't want to do Assassin's Creed in Japan, because that shit is played out. So I wasn't really, I didn't think it was anything special. But I said the same thing about Horizon Zero Dawn, and you saw how that came out. So hopefully it's going to be that situation.
And you said the same thing about Red Dead Redemption.
Exactly. So hopefully this is going to be another one of those situations, because this is Sucker Punch. They always deliver good shit. So hopefully it's going to be one of those cases,
No, he doesn't like Westerns.
Yeah, I don't like Westerns. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, Obviously, I was proven wrong, so I hope I'm proven wrong again. But yeah, I wasn't really... Rico, what did you see about this trailer that got you hyped? Because again, I'm watching, I'm like, there's nothing here,
So as far as from the trailer, I'm with you. There isn't really anything to get hype about. But the thing is, like you said, Sucker Punch, the two previous big franchises, Infamous and Sly, just going off of those two games alone, putting a samurai into, the shoes with the stuff that they've created, I know it's going to be something really good. Secondly, you know me and samurais, we click.
Yeah.
And
That's
thirdly,
your
like
shit,
I said, my game of the year is already a samurai game, Neo. So when it comes to, seeing another studio getting to, I guess, a game about a samurai, I really want to see what they're going to do. Because when I saw that trailer, if you look closely, it's a story about a samurai who the Mongolians take over Tsushima, and they wipe out basically all of the samurai except for him. And in the trailer, it shows him actually going from a samurai to a ninja. So he's not necessarily he's kind of like a there's a character in Sengoku Basara called Mitsunari Ishida, and he's basically someone who used to be, at least in that game, he used to be a ninja, but now he's a samurai. So he has like the skills of a ninja, but he's a samurai. So it seems like it seems like that's going on in here, where it's a guy who used to be a samurai, but now he's a ninja. If you look at the trailer, one part of it, like I said, it shows him, the fire and the smoke moving away his samurai outfit and putting on like a ninja outfit. So, and when you think of a ninja, you think far more agile and, quicker than a samurai. And just looking at gameplay of Sly, you know how Sly is agile, jumping off of rooftops and all that shit. I just hope it's something like that. We already know Infamous. Infamous, you're pretty agile in Infamous also. So I don't think it's going to be just your average samurai, grounded like Neo, or even like fucking Way of the Samurai or anything like that. It might be something a lot more agile. Like you might be running off the walls and doing a lot more agile stuff.
So it'd be like Tenchu and shit.
Yeah, it would probably a lot closer to a Tenchu, than a Neo. So I'm interested to see. Like I said, I'm with you. I'm interested to see what the gameplay will look like. But out of everything I saw, that definitely piqued my interest the most, because we had no fucking clue what Sucker Punch was working on, man. No fucking clue.
I kind of did, because I knew somebody who did work there, but he didn't say anything else. He just said, we're working on a whole new open world game.
No, I mean, no. No, I'm saying you didn't know it was going to be a samurai game.
Though. Oh, no, I didn't know it was going to be a samurai game, but I did.
And could someone come to you and say, we're working on an open world game? Does that really...
Yeah, I don't mean nothing. Everybody's working on an open world game now.
At the time, he said, we're working on a whole new open world game. Like, not even based off of Infamous or anything.
I know, but I'm just like...
Yeah, it's the usual... It's the usual... Yeah. It's the usual.
I'm just saying that genre, open world. Like, how many open world games have we gotten in the past 3.5 years?
Well, I mean, there for a while, people were thinking they were going to do another Sly Cooper game.
I mean, but even Slide 3 and 2, they were kind of open world also.
Ish.
And Infinite is kind of a sandbox open world experience also, so it's not too far away.
But to talk about this game, one thing I do find interesting is that it is, again, Tony's like, oh, another samurai game, which I don't understand another samurai game other than that Neo game, which is more.
Yeah, we had a Samurai 4, which came out a while ago.
Yeah,
I mean, Omnimusha back in the day and shit. So you're
talking about a 20-year-old game, man.
Yeah, but I'm like I said, I'm talking about totality of it, not just within recent years.
To be honest, it's like saying a 20-year-old franchise coming back and saying, oh, one of these again. That's kind of silly.
Yeah, but the thing is, it hasn't been 20 years since we had a samurai game. We had Neo this year.
We had Neo, but we've also had a bunch of Dark Souls games. So what are you going to say? Oh, another Dark Souls game?
Yeah.
Another medieval knight game?
I've said that, though. I'm like, another one of these medieval games, man? I've said that plenty of times. How many times have I said, oh, another zombie game?
I feel like the medieval games are more of the type of game that you would say something like.
Oh yeah, and I have said that. That shit is played out too. The only one of those I played is Dragon Age. Even those I didn't get into initially because I'm like, oh, another medieval game. Fuck this shit.
So when you say, oh, another, fill in insert game
genre here,
yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is not played out?
Ooh, that's a good question. You may want to ask it for Throwdown your questions.
For that one,
I don't know. I don't understand the logic behind it because there's really doesn't really.
Yeah. No, but again, how many games haven't you seen with samurais in it? That's all I'm getting at.
Seeing games with samurais in it, but the thing
even when
is
we were kids, we're playing shit like that.
But I mean, I don't have. The thing is that we've never had a game that's been an immersive sort of Japanese samurai.
And that's a valid point. But my whole thing is, again, I was like, okay, another samurai game. It's like, how many of those haven't we had?
How many?
Even though they're not technically, I even consider the Dynasty Warriors games and that shit. It's like,
but they're not samurai. Those games are not.
I said they're not, but I say I consider them that too.
Sure, Samurai Warriors, because they're
Samurai Warriors is that.
Yeah, Samurai Warriors is a samurai game.
Yeah, and I think didn't we release a Samurai Warriors relatively soon too? Somebody was telling me that. They released one a couple of years ago.
They released the Samurai Warriors for 2 months before Destiny 1.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that about 3-4 years ago, yeah. But again, I need to see more than a CG trailer because
I understand the CG trailer, but I do like the fact that they're actually doing a full-on Japanese sort of game. I mean, to be honest, I really wanted the Yakuza the Yakuza samurai games to come here, but they never did.
They didn't bring that. But by the way, as somebody pointed out, it is actually ironic that these guys are doing the Assassin's Creed game that people have wanted from Ubisoft and that Ubisoft refuses to do. So that is pretty funny,
I feel like he's
and again, Ubisoft said they don't want to do that because that shit is played out.
Yeah, but again, it's the thing is but the people want that. I mean, you're basically playing a fucking ninja in the Assassin's Creed games anyway.
Yeah, he is a ninja, isn't he?
People have wanted people. I've said it for a long time. I always wanted to have a new Tenchu game or something like that. I mean, you look at fucking stuff like that. So I mean, I'm glad that there's going to be
sword, man.
Again, it was like an old game. So
yeah.
But I definitely am interested in seeing what they do with this game. Hopefully, it doesn't spiral into a bunch of cliche. It's like, oh, we need to go to the demon and get the power. And it's like, oh god, here we go.
I think it all comes down to their gameplay, man. Because if it's not as fluent as Neo, it's going to turn me off instantly.
I feel like.
Don't you think you shouldn't compare it to Neo? Shouldn't you compare it to his own thing? You know what I'm saying? I don't think comparing it. Yeah.
What is his own thing?
No, you know what I'm saying. Maybe another Sucker Punch game would be accurate, but Chris Riku, this is not a dig or anything, but I've noticed that when you see a new game, you immediately try to compare it to another game. So is that something you naturally do? You're hey, if this game isn't like this, I'm not gonna like it. Just trying to get your baseline here.
I would agree with you. I do compare it to another game because I would like it to be, but when the game comes out and it's not like it, it might be better or it might be different enough to where I might prefer this over what I was comparing it to.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be interesting though, because like, correct me if I'm wrong, Sucker Punch, I don't really see them as like a melee combat type of company.
They're really not.
You know,
they are really not, and that's something that is going to be interesting for them. I wonder if it is going to be combat heavy or is it going to be, like I said in the trailer, it looked like at the end this is going to be a vengeance story. This is him getting vengeance for everyone that the Mongolians have killed, and he's just someone that just so happened to survive, and he's wearing an assassin ninja outfit. So when it comes to that, it might have a lot more stealth than we realize,
Yeah.
So it might not be face-to-face combat heavy type of thing. It might be a lot of stealth in there. I don't know how I feel about that. We're just gonna have to.
Yeah, we have to see. But again, despite how I feel about the game, I still think it's Sucker Punch. The game's probably gonna be fire. It's just I need to see more than a fucking CG trailer.
Stealth.
Yeah. Anyway, they actually showed other trailers too at this thing.
There was the Last Guardian gameplay they showed.
Yeah. Which was, by the way, a remake. It's not just a remaster, which is interesting.
Here's the funky thing, and they haven't said any information as to what the engine is running, and me and Tony probably suspect that it's the Last Guardian engine.
Yeah.
But one thing I did notice is that all the animation systems and camera systems are the same. Mm-hmm. I've watched a side-by-side comparison of the first cinematic because they put that online, and it's literally shot for shot the same stuff. The way the horse moves, the way the bird flies around, the way the camera swoops around. Either they were timing everything out perfectly, or the thing is that they're pretty much using the skeletons of what the original game was.
Yeah, it's a good question. But yeah,
so which means the animation system, a lot of the physics systems look very similar. The way Wander kind of flips around on the thing. So I feel
it doesn't look like a remake. It just looks like a really good HD remaster.
Yeah, well, they're claiming it is a remake. They said they did it from ground one. That's from the ground up. That's what they're saying.
They say it's from the ground up. I don't think it's totally from the ground up. I think that they kept a lot of the underpinnings of it. But I think what it is, it's the same game, pretty much the same underbelly of the same game, just with all the animation system, with a really high res coat of paint. Because I mean, if you look at both of them side by side, this game looks the way you kind of remember Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes,
but they're two very different things.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like if you guys ever saw the Metal Gear Pachinko cinematics.
Oh man!
Like they're literally shot for shot. Everything is exactly the same. The only difference is that they're using higher resolution models with the same camera movements, same zooms, all that stuff. Just high resolution models and backgrounds.
But it's not using the same old engine. It's the Fox engine. So
it's using the Fox engine. So my guess is what they did with this system, with this game, is that they pretty much took all the animations and stuff like that. Which the creator of Shadow of the Colossus, he was like an animator. So I'm thinking they took all that stuff, all the different animations in the game, used all that, and pretty much HD, did higher resolution assets for everything else, the characters and the creatures, which it looks very nice. I mean, I was a little reluctant. I'm like, oh, here we go, where it's another one of these, but it's a really nice package, so I'll go for it.
Yeah, when I saw that forest, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what is going on here? I don't remember that.
The forest is, the thing is that there's a lot of places that you probably didn't see in that game.
Yeah, mate. Well, I mean, hey, listen, I beat all the monsters and shit, so I saw what they wanted us to see at least. But I remember that thick ass forest being in. I just remember it being like
the forest is there, and it's very similar to that, like very atmospheric. But obviously, with all the new lighting engines and all that good stuff, it looks even better.
It's crazy. All right, Brian, I want to ask you about the God of War trailer. I'm asking you specifically because you're still kind of on the fence about it. What do you think about this one?
I don't remember it that much. Can remind me what happened?
All right, so it was Kratos and his son. They were in a cave this time, right? And there was some like weird kind of lava monster. And Kratos like, listen, stay quiet. We don't want to upset this thing. But then obviously some shit happens and a bunch of other monsters show up, and then they start fighting them and all that. Trailer was very, very short, but what I found interesting was that the combat actually did remind me of Hellblade because it had the same kind of camera angle and stuff.
No air combos.
Yeah, none of that, So they're definitely keeping it more grounded, pun intended.
One thing I did notice that they pulled the camera back.
They did, yeah. As soon as like combat started, that camera went back, so you could see more, I wish I could have seen a little more, but I liked it because it was all gameplay. It wasn't any like CG trickery or whatever,
I have a question about this God of War.
Yeah.
The fact that they're not calling this God of War 4, and seeing that other than what has Santa Monica made last generation other than God of War? I know they made one other. Did they make that Twisted Metal game?
That's a good question.
No, they didn't.
So the only thing they made last generation was God of War, right? God of War Ascension and 3.
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they did publish quite a bit of games too.
Yeah, don't they publish a shit ton of games?
But as far as developing, it was just God of War, right?
Developing, they are kind of the God of War studio.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you? I mean, just looking at the gameplay and the fact that it's not called God of War 4, is this? I mean, and I don't think they have confirmed if it is or isn't. But is this basically a God of War reboot?
It's not okay. I'm going to call it a soft reboot, right? Because all the shit that happened before did happen, but at the same time, they're introducing a bunch of different gameplay aspects of it, But
did they confirm that?
They didn't officially do it, but they've said it, but they haven't said it at the same time. They've said this is a new beginning for God of War, but everything that happened to Kratos did happen. They said something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have just called it Gods of War.
Yeah, because the Norse gods, they're all gods of war. That's right.
I think when they say God of War, they're just referring to Kratos. But I was just like, when I saw it, I'm like, this might as well be a fucking reboot because first of all, the gameplay is not even. It's like a completely different game from a gameplay standpoint.
Yeah, it's
like
different.
I said, there's one thing I liked about God of War is my motherfucking air combos. It doesn't look like we'll be doing any of that shit in this game. No launchers, nothing, none of that. And you said, the gameplay does look similar to Hellblade or a Souls game. So that's just something that, if someone liked the previous God of War for its gameplay and air combos and all that stuff, I could see them, being turned off to how it is now, because it's really different now. It's a whole different type of game.
It's a little like, I say it's a lot more like, it's a lot more like Hellblade, and Hellblade is not very dependent on you in other words, it's not as specific as a Dark Souls game.
No,
you know what
not,
I mean?
Yeah.
No, she pretty much whacks the character like any other sort of beat 'em up,
for Santa Monica and this game in particular, it's going to be a lot from a combat standpoint. We know it's going to be deeper than Hellblade.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Riku, I just looked up Sony Santa Monica's games. All the internally developed ones, all God of War games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the only difference when I had to go back to the very first game they ever did, Kinetica. Other than that, every game, like, they've published a shit ton of games, but they haven't internally developed them. Only God of War. So yeah, they are the God of War studio.
So it's just it's interesting to me that companies like Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, and Insomniac, they all had like this evolution as far as moving from one series to the next, and furthering their their skills in development, from Crash to Jack to Uncharted to Last of Us, from Spyro to Sly to Infamous to Ghost of Tsushima, from
Yeah.
And then Santa Monica, it's just God of War, God of War, God of War. And now with this, from God of War from 3 and Ascension to this one, it seems like this looks like their next, even though it's still God of War from a gameplay standpoint, this looks like their next different thing.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah. It keeps the same, it's different, but it keeps the same name. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like I said, since it's not called God of War 4, even though you say it's technically a sequel, obviously a spiritual success.
Yeah, it's a soft reboot. That's what it is. A soft reboot.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just interesting to me because like I said, I could see a lot of people that liked God of War not liking this,
like Brian,
not liking this one because it just looks so different now. I'm probably gonna like it because I like God of War. The gameplay, I like the previous gameplay, but I don't think that's going to be enough for me to not want to play this one.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this a bunch of times on the show. I feel the old God of War games ran their course, so I'm accepting a change.
You
accept change.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
I don't know what the fuck you mean by that.
You know what he's talking about.
I have absolutely no idea, actually.
It has to do with a trekking show.
Oh yeah. This isn't the pop show, but
exactly why I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying you like change. Change is good. Remember that change is good. You can't wear the same pants every day.
Yeah, because you don't want to be wearing dusty ass underwears, obviously. But I'm not getting into. There's a whole other thing. Because God of War is at least respecting what came before. Star Trek Discovery is just shitting on everything, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. God of War.
Anyway, Games Week. What other shit did we see, man?
There was
the Spider-Man trailer, right?
Spider-Man's. I don't know how I feel about that Mary Jane in there, man.
I put this question up on my Twitter again. Okay, so they've decided to make Mary Jane into a reporter for the Daily Bugle or whatever newspaper. The one thing that I find a slight issue with that is that why does it always have to be Mary Jane? Fucking Spider-Man had like 4 or 5, 4 different girlfriends.
Man, he wants Betty Brant.
I want Betty Brant. It makes perfect sense. She works for Jameson. What's the next eventual level for her? She was also not a fucking ditz like Mary Jane was.
Yeah, that's right.
Mary Jane, in fact, just getting into comic stuff, but the way she was, she couldn't even commit because she just liked to play around. So when a situation would get serious, she'd leave. So she leaves Harry Osborn and he goes on fucking drugs. She leaves Spider-Man and he goes into a deep depression. But for Betty, she had like this whole reason why she was working. Like she had like her brother was who had owed a bunch of money to this crazy ass loan shark. And then Dr. Octopus gets involved, and then he accidentally gets killed.
Comics.
So there's a lot of drama behind that character when you have Mary Jane, who really doesn't have anything. And to be honest, Gwen Stacy didn't have much either.
Yeah, she didn't. Let's just be real.
That both of them, like, granted, Gwen Stacy was the smart one, and she could relate to Peter on that, but she gets pissed off at fucking Peter Parker because he needs to concentrate on his aunt who's sick, and she gets jealous of him for what? Meanwhile, Betty Brant sees that he's trying to take care of his aunt and try to keep things afloat, and she's like, wow, this is a great guy. I don't know, just saying. Here's the thing. I understand why they chose Mary Jane. Mary Jane, she's in what we're going to use again, the zeitgeist.
Yes.
She is considered the girlfriend or a wife of Spider-Man. That's just it.
Yeah. Sad though, because I mean, you see how lately, not just Marvel. You could say Marvel. They've been pretty good at bringing back characters that not a lot of people know and making them popular. Like before the Guardians of the Galaxy movie,
nobody knew who the fuck they were,
Yeah, not a lot of people knew what the fuck Guardians of the Galaxy was. Now everyone's like, oh, this is my favorite Marvel movie, even though I'm not even a Marvel fan. Or Inhumans, they're trying to do something with that on the side. I mean,
Inhumans.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of Marvel characters that people don't know about, and lately Marvel has been doing a decent job at bringing them, shedding some light on them.
The villain of the game is, one of the main villains of the game is that kind of inverted guy, and he's kind of a new dude.
He's a newer villain. Yeah,
I'm glad that they didn't decide to go with the whole it's the Green Goblin again. Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Or I think I saw Shocker in the trailer, but
he's kind of like a glorified thug. Like you could stick him anywhere, you know.
Yeah,
he's not really like a main villain.
But no, that just brings me back to what I was saying. Yeah, I do agree with you, man. They should have used old Betty instead of
Betty Brant
with that, because it seemed like Insomniac was doing a lot of stuff, you know, cool and different when it came to this Spider-Man. Not making sure that it's not really connected to any of the movies or anything, doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I just thought that would have kept the consistency. So I agree with you. Using Mary Jane,
yeah, it just seems like the easy answer to the question. Hey, it's Mary Jane. I'm glad that the one thing I was kind of glad about with the Spider-Man, what was it? Not Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man films.
Yeah,
is that they decided to go with Gwen Stacy. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I remember when that movie came out and I was looking watching with a couple of my friends. They're like, who the fuck is Gwen? Why are they introducing this new bitch? Where's Mary Jane? I'm like, first of all, Gwen ain't some new bitch. She's been around for a while, if you knew that, you know. So they could have did the same thing when it came to this video game. But
to be honest, they actually made her a more interesting character in those movies than she was ever in the comic books.
Shit.
See, and they could have did the same thing with Betty.
It's yeah. I mean, like, you know, Betty, I feel like out of all of his love interests, with the exception of the Black Cat, were the most interesting of his love interests.
That's one chick we need to see make a comeback. Black Cat, Jesus. Anyway, that's Spider-Man. Anybody else?
Yeah, the trailer was all right. You know,
it was all right.
Yeah, it was a story trailer. You know, he goes to school with Miles Morales. You know, they shake hands.
Yes.
Yeah, which is weird. Like Miles Morales is supposed to be way younger than him, but you know.
Well, I think they're playing it that he's just somebody in the universe now. Like he's like, at least for this Sucker Punch. What is it? Not Sucker Punch.
No, Insomniac. Yeah.
This Insomniac game. I keep getting those two companies mixed up. For this Insomniac game, that this is more of an amalgamish world where, you know, Miles Morales is like a, you know, Spidey's good buddy. He kind of looks like current, you know, like more classic Peter Parker's with the short hair rather than the kind of hippie hair he had as Ultimate Spider-Man.
I guess it's just something we're gonna have to just accept, like how we saw Mary Jane's age in the most recent Spider-Man Homecoming. No, Mary Jane. Sorry.
Yeah, that chick was not no Mary Jane's.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I meant Aunt May. Aunt May's age.
Yeah. Oh, Aunt yeah. Aunt May. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I mean, in this one, Aunt May is actually obviously an older looking woman rather than.
Oh no, I was just saying how Spider-Man Homecoming drastically changed the age of Aunt May. We're just gonna have to do that with Miles here.
To be fair, though, 50, you know, in 2017 is different than 50 in 1961. You know,
people are under a lot more stress then. They aged faster.
That is true.
You know, but yeah, I mean, you know, what else? Yeah, we talked about Detroit. We talked about Last of Us. Yo, Adam, what do you think of that Call of Duty trailer, man? Call of Duty.
I tried not to watch. Actually, that part I skipped. I don't want to see. I don't want to see anything for it.
Damn, son.
Too much violence.
People trying to send me 14
Too much violence.
I want to see it. I'm hyped. This is it. This is Christmas, man. Christmas.
Damn.
You know, I want to see EA bring back Medal of Honor.
Yeah. Oh, I did that as a little joke too. I'm like, hey, now that World War II seems to be back in fashion, does that mean Medal of Honor's coming back too? You know.
Well, they better go back to the classic Medal of Honor of telling real stories of real soldiers.
Hey man, I got a question for you, man.
Majority of those people left and they went to Activision.
Yeah, man, I got a question for you, man. So would it be, if I were to say, you know, because I'm like, why are you bringing World War II back? We did that shit. Do you feel that's wrong of me to say, just like, you know, me saying there's too many samurai games?
Well, at this point in time, no. Because we're not oversaturated with World War II games.
Yeah, no, okay, that's fair. Because when I saw the World War II trailer, I'm like, okay, yeah, how many times have we seen this shit? You know,
I would say we're more saturated with World of War than we are with samurais.
Yeah, there's been way more World War II games.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So you wouldn't give me as much grief. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I wouldn't give you,
because there's definitely been way more World War II games than fucking samurai games. You know.
Yes, there has. I mean, the thing is,
I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything in this Call of Duty trailer that I haven't seen in any of those other fucking Call of Duty World War II games and Medal of Honor games. It's all the same shit. How many times do you have to storm the beach of Normandy? You know, come on, man.
Here's the I mean, Yeah, like why don't they tell the story of Dunkirk? Something like that, or that crazy, some of the crazy British missions, But I feel like it's a good time. I feel like it's a good time to do it because of just the graphic fidelity. Yeah. Like you're showing these things the way they've never been seen before.
And just to play devil's advocate, the modern warfare stuff and the future warfare stuff, that shit ran its course. So it kind of makes sense to go back to where yeah, exactly. So, but again, to me, I'm like, whatever, it's World War II, we've seen that shit already, but I understand why people are hyped. I totally understand it. By the way, can we, a little bit of a sidetrack here, but it's still about Call of Duty. Can we please talk about those fucking loot boxes, man? Because to me, obviously I wasn't offended or anything.
I think the reason why Adam? You or maybe some other people are making a thing is that they don't realize that's always been there. That's been there for years.
Wait, so they drop loot boxes in the beaches of Normandy.
But the things, you don't pay for them. They would just drop. And then you go and you grab them. Now the difference here is that people get to see what you're grabbing. So if you get your loot box and it drops down, this is all multiplayer stuff, and it pops up, then they get to see it. That's the only difference. But that stuff's already been there. That was there since like 2013, 12, around there.
Yeah, so you think the people writing, complaining that the thing's being tone deaf, they don't have any validity to what they're saying?
No, there's no biggie, because those are people then obviously that haven't even played it in a while. Because if they did, they would have known that shit's been there. That's not new.
Yeah, because they made a ton of articles about that too. It's like, Call of Duty's being insensitive.
I'm telling you, look up loot boxes and look up on YouTube, and you'll see there's parts where you're playing a game, and then you hit a certain point, and then you cash it in, and then you see a new drop. It'll tell you sometimes. It'll say, it's going to drop. You'll see a marker on your map, and then you go running to it.
This is the modern warfare games, right?
There's all of them. It's the Black Ops. All of them.
You mean the games that are about? You mean the games that are about fake wars?
All of them are theoretical fake wars and real wars. But there's multiplayer. Multiplayer voids all that out. It's not the story. The story.
I think the biggest problem that the biggest problem that people are having with it is the fact that it takes place on a historical spot where a bunch of people died, and you kind of trivialized it.
No, that doesn't make sense.
That's a good point.
No.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Wait, let Manny finish them, and then you go.
It doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense?
It doesn't make sense. If it was Normandy, let's say you're storming Normandy, and then you press the button and a crate fell down with a bunch of guns and shit, then yes, wrong.
But the thing is that
does not follow story.
It doesn't matter if it follows stories. It's just the fact that it's taking place. That it's taking place on a historical spot. It's equivalent to putting something like, I don't know. You're right in front of the wall, in the Civil War. All of a sudden, you have this wonderful camp that's right there, and all of a sudden we're playing video game, cash machine games in the middle of a battlefield. I think that's the problem that people have with it. I think if it wasn't Normandy, if it was just Joe Blow, and camp somewhere, I think people would have less of an issue. But because it takes place on such a historical spot, that's why people are calling it tone deaf.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Obviously, you know me, I'm not a fan. I don't give a fuck, but I understand where those people are coming from. I'm like, you're doing that to essentially hallowed ground. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's a video game, so I can't get too upset.
It's equivalent to putting hey, look, you could go to Auschwitz and then you can get your loot box.
Imagine that.
Come on, dude.
Yeah. It's a good point. That's a good point.
I avoided out because.
Well, hold on, Adam. I got a quick question for you, man. So if they did that shit in Auschwitz in the game, you'd be okay with it?
But that's the thing, though. It's a multiplayer map. If it was in the story, then I would have a problem because the story is not accurate. Multiplayer map, hell, they had Jason running around one time with a meat cleaver.
Okay, so you would be okay with them dropping loot boxes in Auschwitz?
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense. Fucking map.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen. Again, it's a video game. I can't get. I'm not upset, but I'm like, come on, guys.
If they say they're trying to tell a more accurate story, and then they add robots and shit, I'm like, no, come on now. But multiplayer, come on, that's just multiplayer. That's stupid. It's bad enough. You probably have worse shit going on. You have kids cursing and shit at that. No, believe me, a few things dropping. There's far worse things happening in that fucking multiplayer than that.
It's just debate Adam night, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we don't have Brett here, so we need somebody to debate, Yeah,
I got one quick question for Adam. Just one quick question.
Uh-oh.
Adam, do you like Mario Odyssey? What do you think of it?
No, crap. Next.
Crap. Now, is it because there's a dinosaur in there?
No, probably because
There's nothing to do with the fact that there is a live dinosaur in there, and you can possess it and be the dinosaur.
I heard about that, and I was like, well, that's just another reason why. Anyway, at that point.
Okay, all right, moving on. Detroit Become Human is the last thing we didn't talk about in this Paris game.
Yeah, Become Human. Yeah, Detroit. Yeah, I mean, I like the trailer. It was cool. It shows you all the different choices, but at the same time, it's like cool. That means you get to do quantum dream shit. Great.
You get to do David Cage things.
You get to do David Cage shit. Okay, cool. But by the way, I'm coming off more negative tonight than I intend to, people. I like the trailers. I liked all the trailers,
These Xbox guys ain't gonna hear that.
No, fuck that. I want to talk about some shit. Hold on. I want to talk about some shit that did get me hyped, man. That Monster Hunter trailer, man.
Monster Hunter, yeah.
Yo, Aloy, son. Aloy.
Is that the only reason?
Yes.
Because
actually, Manny, to be fair,
because Aloy's in there?
Manny, I was hyped for this already, man. I did that. I played it. I was like, Manny, this is the game I kind of wanted this series to be from the beginning, man. Because when I first heard about Monster Hunter on PS2, I'm like, oh my god, a game where you hunt monsters is gonna be fucking amazing. I played. I'm like, ooh, this is shit. And then I played it on like PSP. I'm like, wow, you got to do the fucking claw shit to play. I'm like, fuck this series, man. But this shit is legit. But yeah, that Aloy thing is just another like cherry on the top. I'm already hyped for the game. A Monster Hunter game, man.
Just make sure Aloy has a rope caster, and I'm fine.
Yes, tie the motherfuckers down, son.
It's hilarious how she. I mean, didn't we say that game Horizon Zero Dawn was essentially kind of like Monster Hunter?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
You know what? I got in trouble. I got in trouble for that on Twitter too, man. Because thank you. Because I specifically said, I'm like, hey, I said Horizon Zero Dawn is the Monster Hunter game I've always wanted, and motherfuckers came after me.
Yo, find that tweet.
Well, now she's in the game.
Repost it and see and reply to all the people that was hating on you.
Yeah,
and
right.
See what their thoughts are as far as Aloy now being in Monster Hunter.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to Detroit, it was cool. Not much to say about it. I'm hyped for the game. I'm ready, man.
What triggered at that trailer too?
I got a little triggered. I gotta be honest. Little triggered, Like how like Spider-Man has like 6 little things going off in his head. I had like 2 of them,
So the story that they were trying to show off, the abusive man and his daughter and the android chick. How many characters are we going to be following when it comes?
A lot.
It seems like 4 or 5.
Hey man, I got a question for you, man. I want you to tell the people this, right? That house.
Did any watch that trailer again, guys? Because as soon as I saw that trailer, that looks like fucking Ethan's house from Heavy Rain.
It really does,
the
bro.
stairs, the design, the kind of shitty like run down way it looks.
What you trying to say, man? That after the whole Heavy Rain story, that deep into the future, Detroit Become Human, and it takes place in the same house.
Who's to say? It could be. It could be the fact. It could be that this takes place in. But the thing is that they never
futuristic shit in it. You remember?
Wait, so you guys are speaking over each other. Say that again, Riku.
No, I'm saying Heavy Rain did have some futuristic shit in it. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
Oh
man, had HoloLens.
That'd be crazy if this is actually connected to that.
I mean, it feels like it could be in the same somewhat world. But the thing is that didn't they say that Heavy Rain takes place in some place like New Jersey or something like that?
I think it's like on the East Coast. Yeah.
It was an East Coast game, but it's kind of funky that house almost looks like Ethan's house from.
The stairs are in the same place. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, the basement where the basement, the crappy kitchen, the dreary backyard.
Yeah, they didn't care. They were just like, oh, just copy paste. Let's move on.
That shit is crazy.
And then you're also playing the girl from that trailer, from that first trailer they did.
Yeah, Kara.
Yeah, Kara.
I don't know if I'll be paying $59.99 for that, but it does look like something I'll definitely pay $30, maybe $40 at most for.
Yeah. All right. What about the rest of you guys? You saw anything cool at Paris Games Week? But I'll be honest, man. After that first day, I didn't really catch up with whatever was going on. Like I just saw that conference. I'm like, okay, I got what I needed.
What?
There was that kind of graffiti game that they showed off.
Oh yeah, Concrete Genie.
Yeah, I heard some people talking about that. But I'm like, what the fuck is that shit?
I'm like, why does this kid draw so good? How old is he?
Yo, man, you jealous, man? You jealous, man?
Yo, man, he drawing so good.
And they come to life.
And they come to life.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else about Paris this week? Because I want to move on to the financial shit, man.
What about oh, sorry.
Game of the show.
Game of show, man.
Can I ask if there was any trailers for Agent or Deep Down?
No, you ain't getting shit.
You gotta take that knife and just keep on stabbing it in there, huh?
Hey, like I seen those trailers. Well, okay, I seen the thing was Deep Down. I'm like, okay, cool. This is cool. I'm just waiting now. So I'm just waiting.
Every conference he gets his Deep Down dagger out. All right, time to stab you in the back once again.
Hey. So you said that greatness awaits. So I'm just still waiting here. You know, greatness.
Greatness awaits, man. Greatness awaits. You know.
He said the greatness must stop.
Hey, Capcom is the one that's supposed to be dealing with Deep Down, right?
Yo, we didn't even talk about that on Throwdown. We're not gonna get into that now. About how Capcom is possibly might be being bought off by somebody. This is crazy. You know, but we'll talk about that another time, man. Anyway, I want to get into this shit, man. Chris, man, financials. So Nintendo released their financials for like the last couple, was it the last quarter, right? And obviously, you know, people are spinning this a very positive way. I want you to come in here and bring the real shit. What's going on with these numbers, man?
All right, yeah. So they released their 6 month. So it's a semi-annual
6 months,
report. Here, let me.
The graphs, baby, man. You know people love the graphs on Throwdown, man.
Yeah, so let me share my screen.
Yeah, so basically, you know, while Chris is getting that ready, so basically, the Switch has sold 7.63 million worldwide. Mario Odyssey, I think it sold 3 million already in the first couple of days. And everything looks fantastic, or is it? Go ahead, man.
So this. I think some people got overzealous and didn't read this report very carefully. So I'm going to explain what the numbers is. So there's articles like Tony got the numbers right. So you actually read it.
Yes.
And a couple others, BGR got it right. Then I go to Fortune. Hold on, let me pull this out. I got to show you guys this.
We're calling out names tonight, boy.
You got to, because this is sloppy. Oh, God, and their video stop.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, so just here, let me just read this paragraph here. So it says Nintendo revealed that it will sell. Now, this is all inaccurate. Let's just notice the wording. Nintendo revealed that it will sell 14 million. And he says Wii U units. I don't know. This is like the sloppiest. Right? Yeah, here. Like, look.
No,
look
I'm
at the
reading
title.
it. I said what because I'm reading it. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, I'll read the shit. In an earnings release on Monday, Nintendo revealed that it will sell 14 million Wii U units. I'm assuming he meant Switch by the end of fiscal year in March, which is kind of inaccurate there. These sales, coupled with the nearly 3 million units the company has sold in March 2017 after its Switch hit store shelves, will bring total Switch sales in just over a year to 17 million units. Go ahead, man.
So this is slop. Well, first, he called it Wii U. Secondly, they're estimating that they'll sell 14 million by the end of their fiscal year. I don't think they will, and I'll explain why. But what he also does is he adds in from the previous fiscal year these 3 million units. Now, first of all, you can't add an exaggerated actual number to a fictional number and come up with a projection, right? That's ridiculous. So he doesn't quote the actual life-to-date Switch numbers, which Tony quoted, which is 7.63 million. He doesn't quote that. He just goes 14 million, and he added to 17 million. This is insane. No. So that's not how that works. So Fortune, shame on you. I had to call that out.
That's insane. This is fucking Fortune. What the fuck?
Yeah. So Polygon actually got it right. Tony got it right. BGR got it right. I'll have to call out Engadget because they also exaggerated. And let me try to find this here.
Yeah. By the way, the reason I didn't post the 17 million is because it was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. So because people repeat that, that's the problem with reporting like this. People take it and run, right? It's a huge number, and they take it and they go crazy. But this number is fictional. This is a projection. And this is an exaggeration. And when you add them, you get fantasy. So
Hold on, I got a quick question for you. When have you ever heard somebody say, "Hey, let's add in the last month of the last financial quarter to this earnings report"? I've never heard of that. It's, you know what I'm saying? If we're talking about this fiscal year, 2018, why are you adding the last month of 2017? That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, this is why this is wrong. So let's look at what Nintendo actually said. Can you guys see this? Or,
yeah.
And
right.
I'll read it out for those
Yeah,
who
go
are
ahead.
just listening.
Yo, man, I can't read.
Okay, so just about the hardware. So all told, the sales volume for the Nintendo Switch hardware and software during this period, which is 6 months, came to 4.89 million units.
Okay.
Right? So that's hardware, and 22.02 million units, that's software. So 4.89, and then they added it to what they had reported at the end of their fiscal year 2017. So whatever they sold from the launch of the Switch till March 31st, which is when their fiscal year ended, they reported those numbers. They added them together, and you get a live to date. I'll show you. It's reported in here. Here, right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So right here, 7.63 million. So that's this is the total to date lifetime. Like as this was published, that's what they reported on it, right? So this doesn't count this month. It ended September 30th, and that's when they put this out. You cannot take this number and Review Tech USA made this mistake.
Yeah.
And it was probably, I would think his is more an honest mistake. He took this number and added it to the fiscal 2017 report and came up with 10 million. You can't do that either. This is a lifetime number. You can't take a lifetime number and add it to a previous number and get a bigger number. That's bad math. So it's not. This is where they are now. Where they are at this report is 7.63 million. So think about that. So remember I said that September 30th. Their fiscal year ends March 31st next year. So that's in another 6 months, right? So this is how they performed in 6 months. So if you project that into the next 6 months, you'd say, well, Chris, if you just double this number, right, you'd get 15.2 million, right? And they would have easily cleared their sales estimate. I said, well, yeah, that's true, but also this was a launch system, and at launch, being Gameageddon launching with a game like Zelda, definitely shot it into the stratosphere. Anytime any system launches, it's the biggest time for it to sell, right? But you can't count that on Mario, which is the biggest title they have coming out to the end of the year, and then going into next year till their end of their fiscal year. I have no idea what is really coming out, except some indie titles. So they're not pushing their own hardware, and a lot of people already own the Switch. We're waiting for Mario Odyssey, so I don't see a lot of new system conversions happening because of I did say it's a system seller, but it's not going to be like Zelda all over again. You're not going to get this second explosion of system sales, and not to mention, like, they have had a problem keeping the systems in stores. So if there's a surge again for Mario, they are only cutting themselves off with the lack of product that they can put out in the market. So I don't think they'll hit this number. I was very skeptical that they'd hit 10 million in the first place, and maybe they will, but I think they've doubled down on a gambit which has worked for them so far, and they're going for 14 million, which I think is a mistake. So that's where I feel about that. And I'll show you the little graph I put together here. So this time last year, this is their total cash and deposits. That's the money that a company has in the bank. So this is accessible, and then the total current assets, which includes stocks, bonds, securities, all that stuff, right? So you notice there's not much change this time last year and right now. And so you can look at these two graphs. This is the cash and deposits, and there's only about 130 million yen difference in their total assets. And so that's kind of interesting for the surge in profits. So let me go back to the report now.
Yeah, remember record-breaking profits, right?
Right. Yeah. So again, they put out these statements that this is the fastest-selling Super Mario game and all this stuff. So so it's like, well, where'd the money go? Where'd all this profit go? Okay, so I'll show you. On the sheet, you have gross profit and operating profit. You look at operating profit because that takes into account all the cost you had to get the product to market versus what you got back, right? So last year they obviously were in the red. Like they actually lost 6 billion yen last year this time. With the lack of Wii U sales and whatnot versus cost of putting out into market, and this year, so they're pretty much like at 40 billion, right, in profit. So you're like, well, great, this is fantastic. Okay, so why aren't they showing the surge in overall assets then? Okay, so we'll come down here and I'll show you where the disparity comes in. So when you look at and it's going to get kind of boring. Yeah. When you look at things like here, we come to ordinary profit and extraordinary income. I explained this before when I read the end of fiscal year, and I was explaining what was happening there. Extraordinary income is stuff you don't take into account that doesn't normally happen to a company in terms of selling product or service or anything like that. So what this gigantic number here, this 62.9 billion yen profit I explained before, is their sale of the Seattle Mariners. So that's what that is right there. And then versus now, I don't know what this 2.7 billion yen accounts for, because they could have sold some stock. They could have sold some securities. They could have collected on some bonds. I don't know. They weren't really public about it, or I'd have to dig deeper into it. But yeah, this giant number, this is what was keeping them afloat last year till they got the switch out, was selling the Mariners. So you have that, and you could see the gigantic loss they took in ordinary profit. It was tremendous, like 30.8 billion yen in the hole, versus now they're pretty much at 69.6 billion yen in ordinary profit this year. But here's where they had a problem. Now, companies can defer huge amounts of taxes when they're reporting like losses, right? So last year, Nintendo deferred their taxes owed, and that becomes part of their comprehensive income. That gets pushed forward into the next quarter, and I guess you could push it forward a couple of times. Well, now the tax man collected, so that's where you get this big loss. Their profit before income tax is double what it was last year. It's almost double. So what you have is their income tax, where they actually got a refund. If you look at this negative 6.2 billion, that's the government. That's a government assisted. So they deferred everything, and they got an assistance because they reported this huge loss. But now that they're reporting this huge profit, well, they paid 18.5 billion this year, right?
Yeah.
So that's where you're eating. So if you look at their total profit, and then 38.3 billion last year. Again, the sale of the Mariners made up a big chunk of this number. And then 52.6 billion, which is now Switch sales and 3DS sales and all that stuff thrown in there. So that's where it balances out. See, when companies push forward those kind of debts, that's you're gonna have to pay that at some point, right? So they're paying it now. There's also foreign currency exchange things to take into consideration, where this year was more favorable than last year for that kind of stuff. But they also sold more products, so then they get hit. So is that kind of stuff to take into account. And I guess the overall thing here is that, yeah, it's selling well, but that momentum, like this is we're not going to have the Wii again. Like the Wii is the past. The gimmick is the past, and that kind of rush on hardware, I don't think will ever happen again. You know, it wasn't VR. Nothing is going to replace it. So now what you're going to have is a slowdown. You'll have people converting to get Mario Odyssey, right? And system sales, but I don't see them doubling this current sales number. So where they are now pinned is the high demand, and a lot of people bought early into like Zelda and stuff. Remember, it had a over 100% conversion rate.
Yeah.
People bought the game before they had the system. But you're not gonna have that again. So you're gonna and you have a very competitive holiday season. So again, Nintendo doesn't live in a bubble. They play in a big boy pool with everyone else, and so you have Xbox One and PS4 competing for the same market, and all the releases. So it's Mario Odyssey was sandwiched right in between Wolfenstein 2, Assassin's Creed. I mean, obviously it was like the standout game because of it's a Mario game, but again, it has a lot of competition. Like Adam's excited for Call of Duty that comes out soon, and there's other games come out. But and then there's probably going to be bundles for Black Friday and all this stuff. So that's the stuff they have to compete with. They're a game company. They're competing in the video game market, despite what they say or what you think. And those factors now play into that. And Sony's hungry to keep up their momentum. They're still selling incredibly well, and they're going to want to keep that market. Microsoft is trying very hard to capture more of that market, right? So they redesigned their system. They don't have new titles really this year, so they're going to work even harder. And they're spending a ton on marketing. Like if you watch Walking Dead, they bought like all the ad space in Walking Dead.
Microsoft?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, so they're spending a ton of money promoting Xbox, and so they're trying to get more market share too. So this is the stuff Nintendo is competing with, and that's why I say even if they pass 10 million, which they might edge out 10 million, I think it was a mistake for them to put out that 14 million number. I think that's an overzealous, and I think you'll see them walk that back. And watch, I'll make a call now. Watch after Black Friday. Wait till December, and I'll call it out on the show. Either the Nikkei or someone, Kimishima will give an interview and he'll roll back that number. Almost guaranteed.
That'll be interesting if that happens, bro.
Yeah, he's done that before because he came out 2 weeks after I read the financial report and made the same prediction. I said they're not going to hit 10 million. He rolled it back, and sure enough, 2 weeks later in the Nikkei, I showed everyone on the show. He rolled back that number. He said, "I don't think we'll make it."
Yeah, that's right. So he's done it before. Doesn't mean he can't do it again. So yeah, because it's 10 million. I could see maybe 14. I don't know about that, man.
Right. Obviously, they're much better state in sales this year, so you could see a lot of these bars dipping into the negative.
Damn.
So this was the dark days of Wii U last year, and then this is obviously profit. These are profit. This is operating profit, ordinary profit, which is like almost night and day. Shit. Extraordinary income. This is only so high again. This is the Seattle Mariners right here.
Okay.
Losses, they didn't really have any extraordinary losses, and then so total profit again balances out. And this is the first year of the system, so it could go either way. If they come out with some stronger stuff next year, this may change, but their profit margin isn't that much higher than last year. Even with all the losses, selling a baseball team put them almost on par with this year.
That's insane.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get over that. You have to look at the report and the health of a company as a whole. You can't just take a number or add two numbers and go, well, or double it. Well, in 6 months, if they did this, and in 12 months, obviously they'll do that. Now,
these guys are they're using Common Core math, man.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
And you have to think of all the factors involved. Like, they don't exist in a bubble. They're competing in a competitive video game market. They are a video game company, and they have to do all these things to ensure they keep up their momentum. It's bullshit that the Switch has natural momentum. It's like that the name can only go so far, and money only goes so far, and people only have limited income and resources to buy into entertainment. So while the system initially seems cheaper, like at $300, everything you have to buy with it puts it on almost $500, right? And if all your buddies are playing GTA on PS4, well, then you're going to lean in that direction, especially if they do a bundle, and it's probably be cheaper than that, right?
Yeah,
You don't really need anything extraneous. You don't need an SD card and all this stuff. So take all that into consideration. I predict by December they'll roll back this number, and they'll probably edge out 10 million. They'll probably just make it, but I doubt they'll make 14 million. I highly doubt it.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Don't be surprised if they roll that shit back. And Chris, I know dudes wanted you to do Sony breakdown. It's like Sony is not just games, man. Like, it's a little too much.
So, so I have it here. This was a little tougher. I didn't make a graph for Sony because this is a big report, right?
By the way, big shout out to Chris for doing this, because I would have actually told you not to even bother, because like when Nintendo, all they do is sell games, right? All they do is sell games. Yeah. Sony does a lot of shit. So the fact that you even did this, mad respect to you, man. So anyway, what's going on with PlayStation now?
Yeah, so here's where PlayStation doesn't even get a label. Game and Network Services. This is the PlayStation part of the report, right? They're doing very well. Like they got a 35.4% increase in overall sales, just from hardware and software alone.
Shit.
Right. So the statement: sales increased 35.4% year on year, to 433.2 billion yen. Significant increase primarily due to an increase in PS4 software sales, including sales through network, impact of foreign exchange rates, as well as an increase in PS4 hardware sales. So they actually sold more hardware this year than last year.
Oh, wow.
So their hardware sales are increasing. Now, I don't have exact numbers here, but as you can see, that's a significant increase in their revenue. And this actually still, to this day, if you look at the change in they're different. This is mobile, which is like not doing anything for them. This is their camera stuff, image products and solutions. You can see a 15.8% increase. So that they're doing a little better. Home entertainment, 20.1% increase. And semiconductors.
I'm sure it's because they cut down how many products they offer. Remember, they cut a lot of their TVs and stuff down, as I remember.
Yeah, well, probably like. I'm not sure. This probably do improvement on the product mix of televisions, reflecting a shift to high value added models. And okay, so foreign exchange rates obviously did well for them, but I think you're right. Improvement product mix of television. So they cut down the cost of manufacturing, and they cut down the model numbers, and they made more valued entries into Bravia and whatever, and that did well for them. Actually, I was shocked at this, but here's Sony Pictures. And it actually posted a profit, and 27% boost. And this is entirely due to Spider-Man Homecoming.
Holy shit.
And they bought some, I don't know, sports network in India, but that was like not that significant. They said the strong worldwide theatrical performance of Spider-Man Homecoming.
Jesus,
so, there you go. So Spider-Man helped save that they were in the toilet if that movie didn't do well. But what I wanted to point out, the most profitable thing they have is still PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I want to point out from here.
That's awesome, man. All right, yeah, I'm glad that, these companies actually put that shit out. Microsoft didn't put out their financials, did they?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, but it's all good. I noticed that a lot of Japanese companies, they always put out their financials around the same time, Like, I think Capcom released their financials. Yeah, they're pretty open about it, so that's good, man. All right, and now we're going to finish. Okay, originally, and it's still going to be that. Originally, we were going to talk about the, because remember, all the 2017 Gameageddon Part 2 games came out on Friday. We can talk about them. So now we're going to talk about them. But I am going to make this segment just what have you been playing lately, But let's start off with Mr. Carlos, man. So you actually beat Mario, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what'd you
playing
think,
it right
man?
now.
Yeah. What'd you think, man? You playing that shit? No, you're not playing that shit portable, right?
Nah, I'm playing that on the TV, man.
Yes, man, with the big boy controller,
Pro controller, man. That's the way to go.
Yep.
Yo, man, Mario's awesome, man. It's really vast. It's a game, like we talked about it before. Manny was mentioning how the game essentially starts when you finish it. Like it's the campaign, the story, you can finish that within 10 hours tops. Like it's pretty quick. So as soon as you finish the game, you get to all the other shit. It's like you have to collect all the moons, and it's crazy, man. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of content. So I'm really enjoying the game. It's another great Mario game. I prefer this over 3D Super Mario 3D World, but I'm still a bigger fan of the Galaxy games. But yeah, man.
The Galaxy games did something very similar too, where it was like, you finished the main story, but you could go back to everything and, get more stars and then, or unlock a bunch of extra stuff.
Right. Yeah, and I like the mechanics more on the Galaxy games as well. It's the hat thing is pretty fun. I like how you can take control over multiple things. It's not like at first when I played it, I expected just to be like, oh, maybe like 3 things you can take over. No, it's a lot of things. Like you can take over Koopas, you can take over like fireballs, different things, and at the end of the game, it like in a really cool way, you have to use all of those abilities to finish the game, and it's like something like you learn throughout playing the whole game that you have to use. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. It's a good Mario game, and if you have a Switch, and if you don't like Mario, then don't get it. But if you're curious about it, then I would say definitely get it. This is one of the best games of the year, like so far.
Nice. What else have you played?
Heroes of the Storm.
Of course, always, man. You know?
Yeah, man. I played that before we started. And other than that, Wolfenstein. I've been playing Wolfenstein.
Tell us about Wolfenstein.
I'm playing Wolfenstein 1 in New Order.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I need to get that done before I move on to Wolfenstein 2, because it's all. I was telling Tony this earlier. I've been watching his tweets. He's been talking about it nonstop, man. I want to freaking play Assassin's Creed, man.
So good. When it hits the lips, it's so good, you know.
So it's like, yo, man. And then Tony told me, he's like, yeah, play Wolfenstein first. It's shorter. Yeah. So I'm gonna get through Wolfenstein before getting into Assassin's Creed. But Wolfenstein 1 is pretty good. The story's crazy, man. It's like some fucked up shit that goes on.
Yeah. Hey, people didn't get upset over that. By the just saying, Manny, right? They didn't get upset over Wolfenstein, where you could actually go to fucking concentration camps and shit, you know.
By the way, that game came out in 2014, man. That's before the fucking eclipse happened.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And I ain't talking about literally.
Yeah. You know, we know what we're talking about. We're talking about a gate here. Oh man, but yeah, since you brought it up, you know, I'll just jump to me real quick. Assassin's Creed, that's all I've been playing, son. That shit's taken over my life. You know,
you play a little Mario in there. I saw you playing that.
I did the stream, but the thing is, and I said this during stream too. I'm like, I want to go back to playing Assassin's Creed, bro. So yeah, it's really good. Like, you know me, I've always been a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. But this one is different because it's a little bit more stripped down. And I also like the fact that, you know, even though there's a ton of side missions, they all feel meaningful. It's not like, oh, go chase some feathers around or any of that bullshit, you know? And there is so much content in there. And I actually am at the point where I cleared out the entire map. Like everything that was on the map, I cleared all that shit. I still need to do the elephant stuff, but I'll do that after I beat the game, you know? Because people, I'm saying it right now, Rico, you're going to be happy. I'm getting that platinum, man. Fuck that. You know, I've gotten to platinum in every Assassin's Creed game I played except for 3. That's the only one I'm like, fuck this shit, you know. And I think you know what? I think I got it in Unity, but not Unity in Syndicate, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I did though. But yeah, basically I most of the time get platinums in these games. I'm gonna try to get the platinum in this one. It's fucking awesome, man. And there's a lot. I'm not gonna spoil, but there's a lot of different regions. It's not just like there's things in there that you wouldn't. Even though it's all Egypt, that you wouldn't associate with Egypt. Because remember, Egypt has been taken over by many other cultures over the years. So a lot of that is reflected in there. I'm trying to be a little coy about it, you know. I will say this because he's in the trailer. I met Julius Caesar. He's pretty awesome, you know. Yeah, I'm loving the game. So that's all I'm playing right now. But after that, I'm going to go jump into the Odysseys. And Wolfenstein, I still need to buy. Haven't even bought it yet. So I still got to play that. But... And I can say this because I'm not spoiling anything. Your boy, and Brian, you're going to be a little happy for me about this. Your boy just got that review code for Need for Speed, man. Ooh, I'm ready. You know?
Oh, shit.
Oh, I can't fucking wait. I asked my man, I'm like, yo, can I stream this shit? He said he'll get back to me, you know? So I'm looking forward to that. So actually, you know what? I just realized the recode. I may have to put Assassin's Creed on hold. Fuck. This is 2017, man. This is like I had to put Shadow War on hold. I had to put Shadow War on hold and shit for Assassin's Creed. I had to put a bunch of games on hold just to play other games. So there's another one. You know. Good year, man. Good year. So yeah. Assassin's Creed, but
yeah, man, it's not even over.
It's not even over, man. Actually, Gameageddon for me is about to be over because the only other game I'm gonna play is gonna be the Horizon DLC. Then that's it. There's nothing really else coming out this year. I know Xenoblade is coming out, but I need to play Xenoblade 1, which I can play now because because I bought the 3DS that looks like a Super Nintendo. That's coming in, so I can play Xenoblade on that. Because remember, Xenoblade can only play on the new 3DS, so I'll be straight. So I'm gonna play Xenoblade first, then I'm gonna play Xenoblade 2. But other than that, that's it. My year's done. So I'm kind of happy about that. I just gotta play the games I'm still backlogged a little bit for this year. You know. All right. So Riku, man, what have you been playing lately?
So on my PlayStation 4, I've been playing that Gundam Versus. That shit is
Which a little fun thing about that game, I'm actually I get a special thanks in that game.
Oh really?
Yes, I'm a friend of mine actually handles a lot of the localization of the Versus games, and a lot of games at Namco. He did the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game and a couple of other ones. So he didn't even tell me this, and then all of a sudden another friend of mine's like, "Oh yeah, check it out, we're in it." I'm like, "Oh, awesome!" So yeah, I'm in there.
Cool. Yeah, man, that game from a competitive replay value standpoint, I'll be playing that for a while. I think me and Torrance, what's his name on Twitter? Corey Dillon hated.
Oh, hey, Corey.
Yeah, I know a couple of us we're gonna try and get some Gundam Versus after the Warzone game nights running on that. But that honestly, that's all I've been playing on my PlayStation 4. All my other gaming has been on my motherfucking Vita.
Ah, shit. My man's keeping that flame lit.
That flame is like the Amaterasu flame from Naruto, man. That flame never goes out. I'm playing Final Fantasy 3.
Final Fantasy 3.
Fantasy, yes. I'm playing Final Fantasy 3 on my Vita. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting introduced to the Moogles, as you call it. The job system and all of the summons. So that's what Final Fantasy 3 apparently is known for. All of those things.
Yeah. That's dope, man.
Shiva, all of those cats. I'm seeing all of that inside there. I like it more than 1 and 2, so I'm playing all of the ones that people don't really even talk about, 1, 2, and 3. Everyone's always talking about 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, it's
get back to me when you play 4. 4 is fucking amazing, man.
Awesome, yeah. That's what I'm hearing. I'm saying as far as the ones that I've played so far, I'm hearing that 4 is the one that a lot of people hold close to their hearts. So I can't wait to get the 4. Can't wait to get the 4. Other than that, honestly, I haven't been playing anything else. This Gameageddon, right? Say so much about this Gameageddon and all of these games that came out. I agree with you, man. This year, in comparison to all of the other years that we've had for this entire generation of PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and Nintendo Switch / Wii U, this is definitely the best year for this entire generation. I don't know if next year is going to top it or any year after this year. Yeah, I always said that last generation, that year was 2009, where we got Killzone 2, we got Infamous 1, we got Demon's Souls and Uncharted 2, all in 1 year. And I know we got a couple of other things, but those were like the main things that made, in my opinion, that the best year that entire generation for me. And I would say that's this generation's 2009 is this year right here, man. Fucking heavy hitters and crazy games for the entire goddamn year, man, from beginning to end.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped. Yo, it's funny because I went to this UFC event today, right? And I was talking to my homegirl who does PR, and she was telling me how this year, because usually she said that usually between June to end of August, it gets a little light for PR, right? Not too much shit. She said this year it hasn't stopped. All fucking year she's been busy. So that lets you know, it's crazy. Even like with us, it's like, how we have the summer drive. There was no summer drive this year. That shit did not exist.
I like that. And then the thing about this year, you had something to play this entire year, and like I just find it really, really weird that I'm majority of my time right now is playing all these classic JRPG games that have been out for years, when every fucking week a brand new game is dropping. Yeah, Sonic Forces next week, Assassin's Creed this week, so and so last week, and I'm just sitting here playing Final Fantasy. Like, oh look, that just came out. Continue with Final Fantasy. Oh look, that just came out. Continue with Final Fantasy. I don't know, man. Like I said this on Twitter, man. I'm gonna say it here too. PlayStation 5 better have backwards compatibility, because my backlog is not getting any smaller. It's not. I just saw this that South Park, Fractured But Whole.
Yeah.
I want to play that because I'm a big South Park fan, and like, you know, I'm loving these turn-based RPG games, so that's just, you know, that's a double whammy for me. And when they said,
did you play the first one?
I didn't, but the fact that Fractured But Whole, if you pre-ordered it, came with the first one, that's why I went ahead.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah, I just went ahead and purchased it. I'm like, okay, I got both of those games sitting right there. Backlog just getting bigger. You know? I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna get to that, but guess what? I have both of them. They're sitting there ready for me to play. I'm probably gonna play them after I'm done with all these turn-based, you know, all of the top tier turn-based RPG games. Then I'm gonna start Throwdown and eventually get to that. But my point is, I wouldn't be surprised by the time I get to that, PlayStation 5 is out. You know?
That's right. Yeah.
I would not be surprised. I'm trying to get into. I want to get into Nier. I bought that when that was on sale a couple of months back. I think it was like $39.99 on the PlayStation. That's one thing I like about PlayStation Plus. If there's anything that I can say good about it in the year 2017, these sales are pretty fucking good. The sales are pretty fucking I think right now there's a sale on Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, it is. Where the standard? No, these sales are pretty fucking. The standard sales. Now, if you want to compare it to the Humble Bundle, go ahead. Good, sure. Yeah, it's superior. But you can't sit here and say that these PlayStation Plus sales are bad.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying that they're all right sales. It's like
they're all right compared to Humble Bundle. They are good. They are really good. Not, you know, comparing it to anything. Like right now on the PlayStation Store, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this shit tomorrow. Freaking Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5, 66% discount. Same thing with what's the other Final Fantasy 15 Deluxe Edition. That game is on another 66%. I think both of them combined should be like $120, and I could get it for like 50 something. Right?
Damn.
I'm like, that's a good ass sale. You know, that's a good ass sale, man. And those are two games that I was going to buy. I was thinking about getting them like used on Amazon or some shit. I'm gonna get that shit on the PlayStation Store. So that's one thing I'll compliment PlayStation Plus for doing is the fucking free games, they're trash. Yeah, definitely. They're trash. I can't
play Metal Gear Solid 5. Well, if you did get that one.
I saw that I added one to my library. I don't know why. I'm not even a Metal Gear fan, but I added it in there. But I always go in there and just add it to my library and move on. I haven't seen a good PlayStation Plus game in a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, you know.
Those sales, every time the sale starts, I see at least 2 to 3 things. So I'm like, wow, that's really fucking good. You know what? I need to get that right now. Like, I think the last thing I bought was Salt and Sanctuary. That was on sale.
Oh, nice.
Like fucking 60% off or some shit. I was like, damn. And you get both versions, PS Vita and PS4. Yeah, great. I want that shit. Everyone's calling that a 2D Dark Souls game or whatever. But like I said, all these games I'm naming, just making my backlog bigger. PlayStation 5, you better have backwards compatibility.
You know, for real, man.
There's no fucking way I'm gonna be done with all of this shit by the time that motherfucker comes out. And you know how the beginning of any generation is. You don't have a lot of shit to play.
Yeah.
That will be a lifesaver if that shit's backwards compatibility.
No. Yeah. By the way, off topic, but I was just looking through some of my mail here. They must know about me, man. Look what I got sent. Let me see like the offer for the PlayStation card. Adam has this shit, don't you, Adam? The PlayStation card?
Yeah. I have one of those too.
Yeah, well, obviously right here I'm covering my address so motherfuckers don't come and slash my throat, you know.
I heard you talking about that Xbox.
Motherfucker, now it's gonna be the Nintendo guys coming after me, man.
You know, they could still find out where your address is because every single photo and stuff that you take has some sort of GPS information inside of it unless you turn it off.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Xbox guys, man. No, never in my life has Xbox guys have to actually try to come after my job like those Nintendo guys did.
You know? There's one guy you need to worry about.
Yeah. Where'd I get a
like a mask or something, man?
Shit. All right, Adam, what are you playing right? Are you playing Call of Duty right now, man? That's what we're doing. I knew it.
You see the screen blinking and shit, man. That's those gun, that flash, that muzzle going off.
No,
man.
see what happened.
That's those machine guns that didn't exist.
Yo, I actually had to move it down from veteran to hardened. This is no joke.
See, Adam, usually he has glasses on, right? I can see what's going on, but now he took them off because he's trying to throw me off and shit. But yo, so hey, you know what, Adam? I know you've been playing for like 40 minutes or something, right? What's your quick review of it so far, man?
It's ridiculous. This is so crazy. It definitely feels like the Call of Duty from the old, but with just an upgraded view on it. I mean, this is just.
Oh my god.
This man's mesmerized. Look at his face, man. Look at that face.
War.
And definitely, and that's the thing. I usually play them on veteran, and so I doing.
You had the hip hop game rated a little bit.
Oh shit!
No, I'm not using any cheats.
He ain't using no cheats though. He ain't using no cheats.
No, I didn't.
He's not paying.
I forgot the hip hop gamer meme has evolved now. It's the one I was
the original one.
Yeah, I was using the original one. He putting it on the easier difficulty, not the new one where now it's cheat codes. I forgot it changed. It is evolved.
It's $60 cheat codes now.
Yeah, yo, look at Adam's face. Let me click on this man right here, man. Look at his face right here, man.
Man.
This man he's focused, son. That's Call of Duty right there, man.
Only Call of Duty can make you make a face like that, man.
He's not even wearing any clothes under that shit, man. He's naked right now. This is serious.
He's a disembodied head right now.
Yeah. Anyway, since Adam's focused there,
it's man, this is something else. It's definitely something else.
Your game of the year.
So this, number two.
Yo. Anyway, Adam, have you played? What have you been playing before Call of Duty, man?
Well, they had FIFA on sale. Talking about the big.
Oh wait, that's right. Yo, tell us about the Switch version, man.
That's garbage. Let's move on.
Oh,
it's straight up garbage for a bunch of reasons.
Wait, where they had the sale on?
Well, it was on PSN. They had a.
Is it? For how much?
It was for 40. That's from the 60 to 40.
Nice.
Well, hold on. What was the shit you were playing on Switch that you liked?
No, what I got it for was to play FIFA Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
Let no FIFA know what Ultimate Team is. The problem is that the auction house and everything doesn't sync up with the app. It's on the iPhone, it's on the iPad, it's on the PC. It doesn't support it. And so that's something that's on EA's end. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you not have that support? It makes no sense. It was like, oh no, you have to go with either a PS4 or Xbox. Okay. It's a smack in the face.
Wow.
Smack in the face. You know what I mean? There was no point for adding that thing. It was just a pain in the ass. So that really upset me.
But you kind of predicted that already, though, dude, man. You were like saying, you even said it yourself, like a lot of that shit's going to be missing.
No, but they put it in. They said that was going to be out. They said Ultimate Team was going to be out, and then all of a sudden, it's in it. You know, from the review, they showed it, like, yeah, it's here, and it is in there. But all the other things that go along with it, like the app and the web app and all that stuff, that's not there. And it says that it's due to support from EA. That has nothing to do with Nintendo or Power or any of that crap.
Damn.
EA not supporting it. You know, and it's got all kinds of weird glitches. I mean, there was one team I went against that didn't have any faces. You know, and it was just a wireframe and stuff. It's got a lot of bugs.
That's some Ubisoft shit. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yo, hold on. What was you were telling me you were playing this Switch game in your office and shit, and you were digging it. Like, what the fuck was it again?
No, that was NBA 2K.
Oh, okay, there we go. I get the sports games mixed up. Okay.
Yeah, NBA 2K down. That's an awesome game.
You get the sports balls games, the sports ball games.
Yeah, I get them all confused, man. They're all the same shit.
Beautiful people. I mean, with the commentary and all that stuff, people will come by. They're like, "Yo, I thought you were watching a game." I'm like, "No, this is it." I mean, if anything, that is a selling point for anybody that's in the sports, and if they see that on there, sold. It's one of those things you have to see it. And I only play it in handheld. I don't do the dock. Everything looks like crap on the dock. You know, I have a 4K TV, the Pro, and all that stuff. So when I go in the downgrade, it's like my eyes. I can't do it. You know, I've tried a few times with Mario Kart and stuff on the dock, and I'm like, nope. I put that shit. Don't
wear your glasses. It'll look fine.
Yeah, that's right. Take them shits off, you know.
Just take them off. It'll be fine. It'll look great. Nice. Your natural blurry vision will clean up all the graphics.
Like I was telling you before when I sent you a picture about my double jointed thumbs. You see?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. Let me click on you real quick. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. That's crazy, man. Look at that shit.
It's like I don't have any issues.
Ladies must love you, man.
There you go. But here's the thing, like because of that, it's like I have no issues with this, so I only do it in handheld. I have no plans of ever not using it. So everything I do is.
And then that's when Brett rises from the ground. Did you just say handheld?
There you go. But it's mainly because it just doesn't look right. Like everything looks blurry. Everything just doesn't. I mean, it's just. But then again, like I said, I'm comparing it to just constantly. I use my PS4 Pro majority of the time for everything, and that's now in 4K or in high res, and then to jump
checkerboards.
Jump down to 1080.
Yeah, see, I wondered about that. I'm like, yo, how do Switch games look, on a fucking 4K TV?
They don't look good.
Damn, son. That's crazy, because the thing is, for me, I have a 1080p TV, so it's not that much, you know what I'm saying? Like, games are either 1080p or 900p. So, yeah, 4K must look like shit.
Yeah, no, it's not good. Not good at all. I mean, I had my brother here during that time, and he was like, we can't do this. We can't do this. I turned it off. I'm like, all right, you're right, forget it. Besides that, I've been playing NBA Live 18. That's a really good game. And WWE 2K18. All sports stuff. And then there's Shooter. And then, of course, War 2, Call of Duty.
Man, you really are the bro gamer, man. You weren't lying about that,
No, I'm not lying. This is it. This is what I do.
Right,
I'll roll.
All right, let's move on here. Manny, have you gotten a chance to play anything?
What are video games?
Yes.
I'm on a podcast about video games, and I barely can make the time to finish off fucking Nier and Hellblade. That's the two things that they're in the stasis field. When I can actually sit down and actually go down and play these games, that's when I'm gonna do. But I'm still trying to keep on top of it. Like see where I can fit them in to kind of finish them. That will be I've already earned like 3 platinums this year, and that would be my third.
That's not
Nier
bad.
would be my third. Yeah,
that's more platinums than me, motherfucker. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I did earlier this year, because the Nier is a leftover from earlier this year, so that will be it was the Gravity Rush one. I'm really close on this one for what's that thing for Nier. And there's another game that I got a platinum on that I got this year. So, and then I'm also going to get the platinum in Hellblade.
Yeah, I got to go back to that. I only got 1 trophy to get, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm trying to keep well, at least when I was playing it, I'm trying to keep an eye on it. But one of the things that it was a little difficult playing that game when I was streaming, because it was a little hard for me to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think that's a very streamable game, to be honest.
And be somewhat entertaining. The Guilty Gear games, I'm a little bit better at.
Yeah.
Check out Turtle.
I managed to get more. I managed to get a bunch of stuff in the Guilty Gear game, though. I've been able to fit that thing in because it's just like, hey, yes, beat arcade mode again, or watch the anime that's in it that's boring.
Cool. All right, Brian, man, what you been playing?
I've been playing some Steins Gate.
Oh shit, Carlos, man, what's
Carlos.
up?
Yep, that and Warframe. That's all. Pretty much the only couple of games I'm going to be playing for the next couple of months will be Steins Gate and God of War 2 and 3. And
Need for Speed, nigga, get that shit. Speed.
I see, Tony. I can't because I made like a rule with myself where I'm not going to play any other PS4 game until I finished all my PS3 games.
Okay, get on PC. You can cheat and get the PC version.
So Steins Gate, that's a visual novel game, right?
Yep. So pretty much that's about it. Like, so basically, I am going to be that gamer that clears out his backlog like Riku is. Like the backlog needs to get tackled because it's just been there for way too long.
Yeah, so you don't want to be one of those guys and say, "Oh yeah, I'll get to it eventually," and then you're dead.
Exactly. So basically, like all the PS3 games going out first. Then next, the PS4 games, and hopefully...
By the time he gets to the PS4 games, we all playing PS5, son.
See, okay, I calculated, if I can play them with decent amount of regularity, then I can probably get them all finished by 2020. So hopefully, if the prediction is right, that the PS5 comes out around that time, then I'm good.
You say 2020, you talking about all your PS3 and PS4 games?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Not the PC games, because god damn, that's like another 5 years.
I don't think I'll be done with my PS3 and PS4. Well, I got to take into consideration my fucking Vita backlog too. All three of those combined, that's fucking 2025.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. All right, Chris, man, what you been playing?
Well, I've been alternating between Zelda, which I'm enjoying.
Wait, hold up, whoa, what? Did you just say you've been enjoying Zelda?
Yeah, that's not a shock. That was my game. No, that was. I did say it was good even when I went to E3.
Yeah.
And saw it,
I was acting as the rabid fanboys.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, no, they don't listen to me. So, and I checked out a game recommended by Mr. Workman, who was on the show last time, and I got The Mummy Demastered. And it is really good. It's like they married Contra and Castlevania together, and I'm running around shooting monsters with guns, and it's great.
Contravania,
yeah, it's really good. I have to say I'm really enjoying that too. So when Kristen's playing Zelda, I'm playing that game, and then in between I'll jump on GTA and try to do some of the gun running missions.
Oh shit, yeah, we're gonna probably do GTA tomorrow. But Chris, I gotta ask, man, the obvious, Cuphead, man, what's up?
Oh, I got to get back to Cuphead. Cuphead's been on the back burner, but I haven't given up. It's just been playing other shit. So.
Yeah, because my goal is I want everybody on this podcast who has Cuphead to beat the shit, you know, so we could, you know, show motherfuckers that we're real gamers here, you know.
Right.
We finish our games, especially hard ones, you know. Fuck that. And Miss Chris, that's it. Anything else?
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
And Mr. Romero.
Romero.
I think we got you right. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, the Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah,
and,
I forgot about that because Rico, you went off for a little while, so I forgot.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You know, shit.
It was Tuesday.
You know, but it was Wednesday. All right, so yeah, Rico, man, I wanna thank you for being on. But again, like the door's always open. Anytime you're like, yo, okay, I'm gonna be on Throwdown, you don't even need to ask. You can just say, yo, I'm gonna be on tonight. That's it. That's all you need, son. You know. So
you are one of the founding members of
the
man.
Throwdown. You know,
dude, I'm gonna hop on here every time I'm done with a Final Fantasy. I'm gonna hop on here and be like, so yeah, I finished Final Fantasy 3. Is great. I'm playing Final Fantasy 4 now, and yeah. So yeah, next time you see me, I'll be playing Final Fantasy 4. I'll be telling you about it and whatnot.
Yeah, you already know, man. You know, and Adam's gonna have his full review of Call of Duty tomorrow because he's probably gonna beat the game
by
then.
Face.
Yeah, my man's like dedicated.
You know, I'm just sorry for anyone just listening to the audio because I listen to all of the audio. So looking at Adam's face, man, you guys are missing it. This is hilarious.
That shit is funny, man. All right, so let's wrap this shit up. So Adam, man. Yo, Adam, we still doing GTA tomorrow, man. What's up? Yeah, and Brian, you gonna be there to piss off Carlos? This is my favorite part now.
Of course.
Oh man,
oh, you, Brian.
You. Oh man! All right, so thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Mixer, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys. And don't forget, when we do post this show on the Coalition, just remember that if we do forget to put the SoundCloud link on there, we always put the other link. So there's that direct link, and then there's also another link. So if we forget to put that on there, don't worry, because you can always hit the SoundCloud SoundCloud link on the bottom, and it'll take you right to our page, so you can download the page.
Yeah. But by the way, you know, derail a little bit. What happened was I forgot to put the embed code right for the last episode of Throwdown. And dudes were like, where's it? And I'm like, what are you talking about? This shit's been uploaded since fucking Friday, you know? And then, you know, come to find out, I forgot the embed code. But the thing is, right there, right above it, where it says, you know, check us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, click on SoundCloud. It takes you right to it, you know? So it's, even if I slip, it's still there, you know?
Human error, but it's, you know, just remember, like, if you don't see it, you know, obviously let Tony know. Or, you know,
please, man, as fast as possible.
But
you know?
also, just don't, you know, fret not, because it's there. It's Tony. Often once we go off the air, Tony does his thing on the sound version, and then, you know, it's up there.
That's it, man. All right. Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
I'll get my revenge tomorrow, Brian.
Yes, man. Payback, man. Like Need for Speed. Brian Manjoma.
Go watch Thor Ragnarok. It's actually really damn good.
Oh God.
Adam Vale.
We'll kill some Nazis.
And Riku-san 1.
Vita means life. Remember that.
All right, man. We'll see you on Sunday, man. Peace.
Later, guys.
Peace.